The family of Kenya native Wangari Maathai has announced that the Nobel Peace Laureate will be cremated in Nairobi on Saturday. A family spokesman says the cremation is being carried out according to the environmental icon's wishes. A tree planting ceremony will also be held Saturday to commemorate her life. Maathai died of cancer at age 71 on September 25th. For more discussion on Wangari Maathai and other issues, we are pleased to be joined by Elkanah Odembo, the Kenyan ambassador to the United States. Mr. Odembo, welcome to In Focus.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, first on Professor Wangari Maathai, the Moi regime reviled her, but the Kibaki government has honored her with a two-day state funeral. What statement is being made here?
Thank you, Makori. Two statements are being made. One, when you talk about the Moi regime and the fact that she was reviled, she was an agitator. She was fighting. She was a fighter for social justice, and those were the days when social justice was not an arena that the government took to very kindly. So Wangari Maathai at that time stood out, stepped forward, and fought for the things that she believed for. The current government has seen it fit to honor Wangari with a state burial. The third, we've only had two. The first, the father of the nation, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, and then the former vice president, Kijana Wamalwa. So Wangari really is the third in our history of close to 50 years. And the only woman, of course, who has been bestowed with such an honor.
That's a great honor.
It is an honor.
Yeah. Now, the world is always going to remember Wangari as this great Kenyan woman who planted trees to preserve future generations. How will you personally remember Wangari Maathai? How will Kenyans remember Wangari Maathai?
That's a good question. How will I remember Wangari? Let me tell you, when I first met Wangari, the Greenbelt movement, the early 90s, one of the first questions that she asked me, I was working in civil society in the NGO sector, and she asked me, how many trees, Elkanah, have you planted in your lifetime? So yes, when we think about Wangari, we think about trees. But Wangari Maathai was more than just trees. Wangari used tree planting and environmental conservation as a way to fight a lot of the ills and injustices in our society. She fought for basic human rights. She fought for women's situation. She fought against land grabbing and corruption. So she used the tree planting was her means of making a statement, but she made many statements with that tree planting. So it was not just tree planting for the sake of tree planting, which of course was an important thing to do. But I think over the years, looking at the different things that she did, using tree planting as her platform, she fought many battles and used the tree planting as her sort of weapon, as it were, to fight those different battles.
Thank you. What a great woman she was. Now let's turn quickly to an upcoming event right here in Washington, D.C., and this is the Kenya Diaspora Conference. Just briefly, what is this conference? What is the objective of this conference?
We're bringing together Kenyans. We have registered close to 500 Kenyans from all over the United States. We have realized as a country that the diaspora are a very important part of Kenya's development. We are going to be sharing with them our Vision 2030, which is Kenya's strategic plan towards becoming a middle-income country by the year 2030. We want the diaspora to be very much a part of it. So we want to give them an opportunity to look at it, internalize it, and share with us their thoughts of how they think they can be a part of this vision.
There's no question that the Kenyans in the U.S. are very passionate about home. What is the government specifically doing to make it easier, to make it more attractive to invest back home?
A number of things. Our new constitution, as you know, has provided for dual citizenship, for example. Our new constitution has also provided for the possibility for a vote for Kenyans. So as we head towards elections in the coming year, 2012, Kenyans abroad will be able to vote and exercise their rights as Kenyans. These are very basic but very fundamental in terms of helping people to feel connected, but also helping them to be a part of the decision of where Kenya is going in the years to come. They will be voting in the leadership. They'll be determining the governance and the leadership of the country the years to come.
Yeah. Sometimes Kenyans hesitate to invest heavily back home because of fears of incidents like the violence of 2007. And now we're witnessing even violence in parts of Kenya and Lamu. How do you reassure Kenyans that the government, the country, will be a peaceful place tomorrow for them to go back to, for them to invest in?
A lot has happened since the elections of 2007 and the post-election violence of early 2008. Since then, we have a new constitution, so a lot of the things that we can attribute to bad governance that contributed towards the violence that we saw after the elections of 2007, to a great extent, those have been dealt with. We have a completely new judiciary. We've overhauled the entire judiciary. We have a new Chief Justice, a new Attorney General. We have appointed new judges. These are the assurances that give people, both Kenyans and also outsiders, international community and investors, that we now have a system that is predictable, that they can count on. Justice will prevail with the new judiciary in place. And the government, of course, has done a lot in terms of just the regulations and the environment for enabling private investment and business to thrive in Kenya.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that we look forward to even better days ahead of us. The
I'm
conference is on the 8th and 9th.
It's on the 8th and the 9th, and also the fact that you mentioned Wangari, it's very important to know that we are also remembering Wangari here in Washington. We have a condolence book that we have put out. We've announced that. And on the evening of the 8th, we will have an event, a reception to honor Wangari.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we
you
will
very
also
much.
have a celebration on
Thank
the 20th.
you, Ambassador Odembo. Thank you very much
Thank you
for
very
taking
much.
your time to come and speak with us here
My
today
pleasure.
on In Focus.